hey, go ahead and do me a favor and go ahead and hit that thumbs up, like, and hit that bell icon. And do all the call to action social media things you're supposed to do. There's so many I can't keep track. Also, I got this epic shirt of chaos. This is available in the channel store. Link below. There's all types of stuff in there. We got mugs. We got jogging shorts. We got pretty much everything you can think of. And if I think of something new, or even if there's something you'd like me to add, you can just tell me and I'll go ahead and add it. But all that type of stuff is below and it's awesome. So please check it out. This organized chaos video is brought to you by Gems Art Studio. Gems Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find Gems Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/Gems Art Studio. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Hey, I guess it's time to do something a little bit different. My Deep Space Nine video is in post, and God, it's going to be a long one. But I'm really excited. It's going to be great. And I got a new Marvel vs. DC at the movies, The Aftermath, where I'm going to be looking at where the studios are right now. And that one, I'm excited about that one, and that'll be out sooner. That being said, it's not going to be out. It's got at least another week in it, I would say. But while I was researching that video, I came across a Jubilee that is essentially about Marvel vs. DC and the movies. And if you don't know what Jubilee is, Jubilee is a YouTube channel that's 1 billion times bigger than mine. But essentially they bring video creators together, not just video creators, but social media people, and they talk about stuff. And they have Marvel vs. DC one, and they didn't invite me, even though I have one of the biggest videos on the topic. But hey, you know what? No hard feelings. Cool, guys. You just go ahead and do that. But let's see what these guys say about that. I'm gonna watch it live with you guys. I've not seen this before. Let's see if they have good opinions or if it's cringe.
The original Spider-Man were not good. Like, I grew up watching those and I was not a huge fan.
Okay. Totally not agreeing with that, obviously, but I don't even have arguments to go against. You're allowed to not like it.
No. Yeah, totally.
What?
I did not.
I look back at my fandom since I was tiny. You know, the biggest impact I think for me has been Batman. When people really know comics, they know what DC's bringing to the table.
I could see how they can defend like their video games and their comics, but I don't know how they're going to back up the movies.
No shade, but their movies aren't that great.
Ultimately, you see a very cookie-cutter pattern of how Marvel makes their films versus DC, which is
not wrong.
Super gritty, super dark.
I will die.
Again, not wrong, but God, does everything have to be super gritty and super dark? Marvel can at least get, Marvel can have darkness and intensity. It just isn't the primary. The issue with DC's darkness is that when it's always dark, it's just depressing and it's not fun. But that's going into Snyder stuff. It's not really where DC's at right now. This video is 7 months old.
On a hill of really apologizing and loving some of these new movies more than most people should.
I think my only expectation really is to kind of understand, where the other side's coming from. How do they connect with someone like Superman, who to me has the personality of a brick?
It depends how he's written. Superman can be awesome. Hell, look at Superman and Lois right now. They're doing a great job with Superman. Christopher Reeve's Superman was great. Yeah. I feel like Henry Cavill had potential to be a great Superman. Unfortunately, he played Dark Superman, he played Superman. Dark Batman with superpowers is what Henry Cavill played, and it wasn't right. But I think he could have done a good Superman, and maybe he still will.
My name is Ryan. I'm a a philosophy major at university, and I studied art history as well. The more I think about it, those things tie in a lot for the reason why I love comics so much.
Hey, I'm Will. I'm a lifelong, I would say comic book fan, but really DC Homer, as my friend would call me. Apologist, some would say, to a certain degree.
I'm Matt, and I am as well a DC guy. I'm actually trying to get into voice acting, voiceover. Like watching all these animated shows and whatnot, it's really inspiring to see all these characters come.
I mean, obviously, DC's animation studio is just blows Marvel's out of the water, without doubt. Essentially, when it comes to movies, the best is going to be live-action Marvel right now, followed by DC's animation, and everything else is, yeah. Marvel animation, I would say, is actually considerably worse than DC live-action. DC live-action is getting better, though.
I'm the live through voice and whatnot, so that's what I'm trying to do.
Hi, I'm Sarah. Marvel's pretty much always been like my favorite genre of movies. I love watching all the movies. I really love cinematography, and I love how they're always played out.
Ooh, cinematography in MCU is not great.
So, yeah, I'm a Marvel fan.
I'm Nick, and I like Marvel so much that I bought a 3D printer and started printing a bunch of props for it. So I've got a 4-foot Stormbreaker sitting in my room, not doing anything.
I'm
Cool.
Chris. I'm a Marvel fan. I wish I could say super fan. Just within the recent years, I've been getting like deep and deeper into it. So there's some things I may not know about, but I'm cultured around the area, so I can get around.
Marvel is only considered better because of the movies. Walk forward if you agree.
I mean, from a general audience perspective, yes, but I mean, the comic books went back and forth. There were periods where I largely thought Marvel did better, usually in the comic books, but there were periods where DC was definitely, like, doing better. Comic books, there's more to and fro, I feel like, between the two, quality-wise.
Unless they're comic book fanatics, I don't hear anybody talking about the comics, let alone the shows, even the games, or anything.
That's really because Marvel's a movie company now. It's not really a comic book company anymore. Yeah, they do comic books, but it's kind of to test out movie ideas. It's kind of where it's at right now.
I only hear the movies.
Thank you for being the only one here, by the way. Because it is challenging, I think, right now to be a DC fan because of that feeling. Socially, the conversation is Marvel. So extremely that every time DC puts out a movie, it's like almost expected that you're supposed to shit on.
Right.
Because it's not as good. They did it wrong. Now, have they stumbled along the way? Tons of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I get this feeling that no one's entering into seeing a DC movie to just be vulnerable and experience what they're being given.
And it's recency bias, right? Because Christopher Reeve with Superman launched, but then you also think about the Batmans with Michael Keaton, right? And Jack Nicholson, and then even Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. Maybe not so much after that, you know, but there was no movies at the time.
The Dark Knight kind of faded into the background when people talk about DC movies, and it's like those were great films.
Awesome.
I mean, we don't have a Marvel Cinematic Universe, in my opinion, without Batman Begins.
All right, disagreeers, come forward.
I don't...
I'm still
Okay, I wish... He needs to elaborate. I want to know what he means. Why does MCU give us Batman Begins? Because Kevin Feige was producing lots of Marvel movies before he started the MCU. And even, like, he wanted Wolverine to cameo in Spider-Man, I want to say the first one? Just a brief cameo. So this is something he's been wanting to do for a while. I don't know why Batman Begins gives us Iron Man. Oh god, this isn't going to elaborate at all. It's going to be people just saying raw opinions. Shit.
Side you guys.
Did you forget we were here? The movies, the TV shows, the video games, the comic books, the books, when you oversimplify it to one aspect, you're immediately erasing thousands of people's hard work and not giving them the credit that they deserve as they add to the rest of the brand.
I guess I'm thinking, could you argue that simply because of the MCU, more people care? It used to be that...
Yes, absolutely. Is anybody arguing against that?
To be a nerd back, even in the 90s, because I love Spider-Man, X-Men, all that stuff from the 90s. Doing cosplay, when I was doing cosplay, people yelling at me, saying stupid, dressing up in movies, all kinds of stuff. Now, cosplayers get millions of followers, like on Instagram. The MCU actually made nerds cool.
Yeah.
And so...
Is that not a good thing?
So when I think of better, I think like kind of to your point, detracts from all the like suffering of the nerds who got kicked and
I
shoved
had
in
to
your
go
closet.
through this to get here.
So now that the MCU exists, I'm like, oh, now you want to say it's cool. Okay, fine, yeah.
I mean, he's on the DC side. What's his argument? Is his argument that MCU made it cool, therefore it's cool and bad? I'm confused. What the fuck is his point?
I do believe some of the comics do better than some of the Marvel stuff that is out. Like with all the Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man were not good. Like I grew up watching those and I was not.
Yeah, no, that's just dumb. I mean, dude, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. You know, you want to throw shade at Spider-Man 3? It's got some good parts, but go ahead, throw shade at Spider-Man 3. Maybe a little bit even at the first one, but the first one's really good. The second one's fucking classic.
A huge fan.
Wait, the 90s?
No. Yeah, Toby.
What?
I didn't know.
What? The Sam Raimi? He's worse than Andrew Garfield?
I see those movies as like corny perfection. It's like absolutely cheese.
Oh yeah, there's so much
I love
cheese.
that.
He didn't give me that representation. I'm an awkward teen. He was like a
Representation?
very just dark and like brooding, like more deep.
Tobey Maguire was dark and brooding, but wasn't nerdy.
See, he just was very not awkward. How I
How was he not awkward? He was super awkward.
wanted to see Peter Parker.
You're telling me that Spider-Man 3?
Jesus Christ, these people aren't gonna. I wonder if they elaborate and this just cut down. I am certain it's cut down, but Jesus Christ, we need more elaboration. Like, how is Tobey Maguire not awkward?
Dance wasn't awkward to you?
Your generation, especially now, you can see that you guys don't really like the dark, gritty, because right now, everything that's going on
Everyone
right
just
now,
wants happy stories.
yeah, everything that's going on right now, you don't want to see even darker.
No. I want dark gritty. I just don't want only fucking dark gritty.
Depression personified.
Yeah, exactly.
I think DC kind of shows people like what they already see in humanity. They're like, wow, are our cities actually like this? Like, is this actually happening? I feel like people kind of get scared and they're like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that.
Our characters
I mean, are we talking about comic books or movies now? Jesus Christ. This is such surface level shit.
are more relatable.
Let's run real quick. It's just the fact that, especially like me growing up, that you could just look at like these different heroes. Like I was like, I'm not built like no Captain America, but I can relate to him in the heart. It's what matters. And so I'm just like, just seeing every character. I'm like, oh wait, that's me. Oh wait, that could be me. Oh, that could be me. And I'm just like, I've just experienced that with Marvel. And that's how I was like, let me just run up in here real quick.
Peter Parker and his anxiety. It's so relatable as a teenager and seeing another teenager get all these superpowers and he's like, I'm just a kid, like I'm just trying to go to school, like I need a break.
It's kind of a combination between the comics, the TV shows, the MCU in total. When you humanize a character first and then introduce their abilities, you not only give the audience time to relate to them and attach themselves to the character, but you give them an opportunity to see them superpower, amazingness. Things like that, just make Marvel just a bit more relatable to me.
Yeah. One of the things I think is really interesting about Marvel, because lots of people talk about how DC, Superman will beat up X Marvel character, and yeah, he'll beat up most of them. He's really powerful, but Batman's a billionaire, and Wonder Woman's incredibly powerful as well. Marvel characters have more weaknesses. Most Marvel characters can be taken out by a bullet fired from a gun. But what makes it, I always thought was interesting is that Marvel characters always felt more fallible, which always made them feel more human and therefore more relatable.
There is an element to DC that I get, that they are unrelatable. Superman really is the most obvious.
Now, yeah, Superman. I brought up Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That's the holy trinity in DC, and they're not super relatable. If you dive in deeper, like Barry Allen and Barry Allen, a lot of the Flashes, a lot of the Green Lanterns, they're super relatable. They have lots of flaws. Like Barry Allen is late to work a lot. Yes, the Flash is late to work a lot. They have flaws. A lot of them have sense, like both Barry and Hal have a sense of humor. Nightwing, I think, is super relatable. He's an offshoot of Batman, except he doesn't have all the money. He just has some gear from Batman, and he lives in a shitty apartment in Bloodhaven. So DC has relatable characters, but not the biggest ones. Whereas, Marvel, their biggest character is Spider-Man, who might be the most relatable superhero for most people.
Because he's overpowered from another planet, all these things. But at the same time, at the core of all that is this unbreakable goodness.
Like Superman, one of the things I always found really endearing is he comes from a different planet. He has unlimited power, but at the same time, once he met Ma and Pa Kent, he fell in love with like the family and being a high schooler and learning how to acclimate. And so, at the end of the day, they are dealing with the same human and basic problems and conflicts that we have.
I think that's where Zach really tried to tie it all in. It's with that Batman vs Superman. DC fans hated. They were not about it, and it's just like,
don't worry, we did too.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
It's insufferable.
Not a fan of it, but it's just like he tried to humanize these characters, and that's.
Is that what he did? Is that humanizing? Because he just made them insufferable, dark, gloomy bores. I mean, she wasn't making this point, but she was talking about how Toby is dark and brooding. Fucking goddamn, Superman is so goddamn dark and brooding in that goddamn movie. I hate Batman v Superman.
That was really an important step to take, because the Superman and Batman, they were never shown to have a breaking point or be showed as the villain.
Fallible too, yeah.
But also going back to representation, relatability, like Asian. Not many Asian superheroes, but with Shang Tsung and all these other characters, I would give props to Marvel. And as long as it's not forced, like shoved down people's. That's what I really don't like. But as long as it's not shoved down people's throats, and like you're gonna have to digest this, and I'm all for it.
When you guys did bring up Peter Parker and Spider-Man stuff, that me being from New York, and so I was just like, I see him and I see me. At the time, I was like, oh, I want to go to this college too, and I want to go here, and I want to do that, and then hopefully do get bit by a spider on the way there.
So I'm just like, okay, cool. I genuinely, as a kid, like when it felt like my own superhero backstory was like losing a parent at a young age, being kind of a caretaker to her, my mom, when I was 15, and still losing that person, it rewired in my brain many things, one of which was take care of other people and put yourself second, put everybody else first. 2, never show the crack in that it's actually crippling you trying to be perfect. Because I did always try to say, like, when you see me, you're going to be like, how does he just fly through life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was healthy, wasn't. And then once I realized that I actually could be vulnerable, I could be broken, and that being broken is more beautiful and makes you more powerful, that sort of opened up the floodgates of finding those things in the DC characters, and I think the writers, especially now in comics, are going that route.
Okay.
Fan community can be toxic.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All fan communities are toxic. DC is probably worse than Marvel, honestly, in that regard. I don't know why one DC guy's sitting over there.
Even if it's something as simple as, someone's title changing or someone becoming a new hero, you immediately get the people on Twitter just being like, I hate this person. I honestly feel really bad for Brie Larson because she got the
she's making plenty of money. I don't feel all bad for her, but yeah, God. There are YouTubers that made a fucking career out bashing Brie Larson. I mean, holy shit.
But I was like, this is fun. I don't want to know what
Exactly. It's like when you dehumanize the actor and treat them as they're only that, that's not being a fan.
Yeah.
That's being an ass.
I remember when Black Panther came out, a lot of people refused to see it because they said it's a PC movie.
Exactly.
It's like there's so much vitriol in different corners. I like to believe it's not most people, but like the loudest voices on social media are like always there. Yeah, exactly.
Because those are the ones that get attention.
Right.
Yeah, even the Black Panther, anything like this is supposed to be a black Superman coming out, and people are gonna be like, oh yeah, that's born of the political correctness. But there's been iterations of black
also,
Superman.
it's comic books, so why not?
Yeah, it's like it's not only limited to just white people. And
there's a multiverse for a reason.
Yeah, multiverse, exactly.
Well, I get toxicity toxicity on my end just for being a girl. And like you guys are
I
predominantly,
can't imagine
I mean, it's all males. But I mean, I've never been like directly targeted at, but I definitely do get the sense of like, oh, you're female, you don't know what you're talking about. You have no idea. Oh, you're younger, you have no idea what you're talking about.
I really probably could have came with everybody.
I mean, I don't have the female's perspective on that, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure she's right. Women in general are treated kind of shitty like that.
I think the only reason why I didn't was because it was prefaced by saying my community. I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on Instagram, and so I'm ignorant to it, I guess is what it is. I had a weird situation. I would be, I guess, more in the jock category growing up, in the sense of that was more my reputation, I suppose. But anyone who knew me and any of my friends came over to my house, like when I started dating, like in high school, and the girls came over to my house, I had action figures everywhere. So the jig was up, you know what I mean? Like, this is really who I am and what I'm really about, and I always found I got a great reaction from that. I think if people buy too much into the toxic nature of Marvel versus DC or whatever the movie is and their gripes on it, they're losing a chance to focus on the positive of the character and why they love it.
My side would win in a fight.
I'm going for it. Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's what I brought up earlier. DC has more powerful heroes, and that's kind of why Marvel's more relatable.
It's good. They know what's up.
I think that's why the conversation is Marvel connects more with like the real person, because DC does feel like titans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to me, comic books are
Oh my god, you read my mind.
American mythology. I heard that somewhere in a documentary. It's true. We don't have like an American mythos outside of like Paul Bunyan and like some silly stuff. It's superheroes is really what it is. Yeah. And Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, these like, Atlas holding the world on their shoulders figures, it's like, it's always them. Batman's like plan to defeat everyone is just, I'm Batman.
Yeah.
And everyone on Earth goes, he's right.
Yeah, get out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna get down to the brass of it, a pissed off Superman, good luck. Someone taking out the big dog,
I always see these videos on YouTube, like, oh yeah, Superman versus Hulk, or Batman versus Iron Man, and it's like, it's all made up. So people have their own
And listen, until Superman fights Goku, we know that's the real.
See, we're not all delusional.
I mean, this isn't even a question. Like, the Justice League is way overpowered. Like, way overpowered.
Right.
I would just say their brutality is a lot more severe compared to Marvel characters. That was like the only thing that came to mind. I was saying the MCU is a little bit more light and fluffy, so they have a little bit more humanistic like thoughts, and I just feel like they would completely just destroy them, unfortunately.
I guess my only question would be, if you want to pit one person against another person, the whole argument that I hear a lot with, DC fans is Batman with prep time.
Yeah.
always wins.
What?
Batman with prep time can do anything. If you give Batman prep time, then you give like Spider-Man prep time, and yeah, does it matter? I mean, Superman, depending on the writer, will have Kryptonian enhanced intelligence. I don't give a fuck about Batman's prep time. Superman's that much smarter. And if Batman has prep time, the other guy's gonna have prep time.
Is that argument? Because he's just a dude.
I've never made that argument because honestly, the argument is usually he's already had the prep time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's always the twist. Is
So you
everyone's
just
like,
assume he's already figured it
Batman's
out?
prepared for every his mind is like, I've calculated 17 million outcomes.
Yeah.
Like if
He's
they,
Doctor Strange essentially.
he's Doctor
without the time
Strange.
limit.
Yeah, like if
okay.
they were together in a movie and Doctor Strange was like, I saw these outcomes, he'd be like, yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
And as a reader too, not just a viewer, I do get bored of that. You know what I mean? Because then there's almost no stakes. Just like Batman knew all along. I was like, oh cool, so it didn't even matter,
What I liked about Infinity War and the Snyder Cut was the level of dread you felt for the characters and what they were having to go through in order.
Did you feel dread during the Snyder Cut? I didn't. I was kind of bored. I don't hate the Snyder Cut, but Jesus Christ, it needed cut. It was way too long.
To get to their goal, and their goal was not ultimately met. Especially with Infinity, I got so emotional at Infinity War, and my head literally hurt after watching that. Having the characters be vulnerable, like not having them at their peak, is very important for the audience to be able to relate and to be able to feel for the characters.
Right.
Martin Scorsese said Marvel movies are not cinema. Step forward if you agree. Now step.
Gee whiz. I wonder if I should do a video on that. Yeah, I did a video on that a while ago. It's goofy. He's just saying he doesn't like it, but he's, by saying it's not cinema, it's cinema. Fucking The Room is cinema. Get a grip, dude.
Well, what does he know about making movies? Right? I think we all are going to disagree pretty heavy with that one. If you look at not just the numbers and not just the worldwide success, but also the stories and the emotions and the ebb and flow of the storytelling. I think they're definitely not only cinematic, but some of the best examples of art that a worldwide audience of different ages and a lot of different people can come together and watch and enjoy, where maybe sometimes a more boutique or arty film might not have that same stuff.
Yeah. I think the second you try to put ground rules on what art is, you fundamentally don't understand. You're missing the point of art.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Like, how do you define cinema?
Right.
You can't.
Right.
There's no, cookie cutter definition of, oh, okay, this movie is cinema, but like Shrek 2 is not. Like, it's
High cinema.
High cinema. But it's that type of thing where if you decide that things have limits, you're already not only limiting the audience, but you're limiting creative freedom. If someone comes along and says, oh, that's not cinema, what are you telling the future filmmakers? That what they want to do is not considered cinema? You're immediately, trashing what these new people want to do.
It brings people together is the biggest thing. I think a cinema can do that. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, me and my dad watch it together. Me and my mom, me and my friends, and we're all different ages. That's like the point of cinema. So.
Hug everybody, group hug.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't as engaging as I thought it'd be. Yeah, it was fine. God, no elaboration. Very surface level analysis. We are just talking about comic book companies, so it's not. I guess deep dives aren't important in life, but I feel like if you're gonna do a video, God, more of a deep dive. But it's a fucking Jubilee video, so what do you expect? Overall, it was okay. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, it's fine. Not as cringy as I feared it would be, but nothing special. Yeah. Cool. God, I was hoping for better content. Yeah, so that last video wasn't as juicy as I hoped it would be. So, let's maybe check out some other content and see if maybe one of these will get me engaged. What we got here? That's not it. WatchMojo. Oh God, WatchMojo. Okay, let's see.
They both reign supreme in the comic store, and they both bring it home at the box office.
With great power comes great responsibility.
But which is the best? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be pitting...
Oh God. This is gonna be so bad.
Marvel against DC.
Unbiased, unprejudiced, fair.
Round 1, Heroes.
Excuse me.
In one corner, DC highlights with a gaggle of good guys that can save anybody from just about anything. Wonder Woman's doing it for the gals, and she's doing it in style.
Look! It's Wonder Woman!
This video is 7 minutes long, so let's see what deep analysis they give us here.
Batman's as anti-heroic as it's probably possible.
I'm Batman.
Superman, well, he doesn't get that overly positive prefix on his name for nothing.
Okay, kids, all right now.
These cats make crime fighting look easy.
I'm here to help, but it has to be on my own terms.
But in the other corner, Marvel harbors its own harem of heroes, and they look strong. Very strong. Captain America packs a painful patriotic punch.
Captain America.
Thor can hammer home the issue, and hammer it home hard.
I'm Thor Odinson.
Iron Man seems to be taking over the world one sequel at a time.
What the fuck does any of this mean? I mean, I can't even engage with this. This is... Oh my God. You want to talk about character flaws, origins? No. Captain Thor can hammer people, and Iron Man is taking over the world one fucking sequel at a time. Oh, fuck.
I am Iron Man.
And Spider-Man, amongst other things, makes a full latex bodysuit look good.
Oh, well, yeah, clearly he's got the win, because latex bodysuit.
They're a wonder, they're a sensation. Appropriately, they're a marvel.
Iron Man, that's kind of catchy. It's got a nice ring to it. I mean, it's not technically accurate.
Jesus Christ, this thing's killing my fucking soul.
The suit's a gold titanium alloy, but it's kind of evocative, the imagery, anyway.
DC does well, but they've been beaten to the punch this time. Winner, Marvel.
I'll get the food.
Based on what? Are their characters more deep? I mean, what the fuck was that? What was that?
First aid kit.
Round 2, villains.
Lex Luthor.
Of course, what's a good hero without a good villain? The DC universe is more than satisfactorily scattered with psychopaths.
You're insane.
No!
Lex Luthor proves a real pain in the pectorals for Clark Kent, as does Doomsday, Brainiac, and the unrelenting rest.
Kneel before the sword.
Perhaps Batman has the best or worst bunch of enemies, though.
How about a magic trick?
Bane's super strength is the bane of the Bat's life.
Gotham's reckoning.
Catwoman can turn on you as soon as you turn to dust.
Meow.
And the Joker's about as funny as the fires of hell.
Why so serious?
Marvel makes a brilliant bad guy, too.
Hello, my dear.
Magneto proves difficult to repel in X-Men.
Oh, difficult to repel. How clever. Oh my god. How many fucking views does this have? Almost 4 million. This has more views than any video on my channel. This has almost half as many views as my entire fucking channel. And this is the analysis we're getting. I'm putting too much work into my channel. Holy fuck.
Loki takes sibling rivalry to a whole new level in Thor.
That was just a bit of fun, really. To ruin my brother's big day.
And Spider-Man has more than one awesome archenemy.
Speak of the devil!
The evil just isn't quite as exquisite, though.
That's all I have to give.
Take a bow, DC.
Based on what? These aren't arguments. These are catchphrases, and then they just reward a point to something. I mean, holy shit.
You're very good at being very bad. Winner, DC.
This town deserves a better class of criminals.
Round 3, sidekicks.
Partners.
Sometimes heroes need help. Batman has his select group of buddies, the most famous being Robin.
It's Batman and Robin, not Robin and Batman, and I'm sick of it.
The guy rides in a sidecar. It doesn't get more sidekick than that.
Holy rusted metal, Batman!
Bruce Wayne also has Lucius Fox and Alfred Pennyworth. Who wouldn't want Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine on their side?
Kevlar utility harness, gas-powered magnetic grapple gun.
Wonder Woman's Wonder Girl is also wonderful.
Such dishonesty is not befitting an Amazon princess.
As is Superman's ever-impressionable Jimmy Olsen.
How you doing? Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
Sidekicks aren't as much of a standout on the other side. Pepper Potts is as loyal as she is love-struck in Iron Man.
You want to just kiss it on the facial slit?
Falcon is Captain America's friend, but he's a hero in his own right as well. And Aunt May is arguably the closest thing to a sidekick that Spider-Man ever gets.
You loved him. And he loved you.
Once more, Marvel just misses the mark.
I do anything and everything that Mr. Stark requires.
Winner, DC.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna be one moment.
Round 4, team-ups. In both camps, there are incredible individuals, but to win this round, they have to work as a team.
Cry me.
Who even chooses these categories? What do these mean? Oh my god.
A river.
The Justice League pushes some very heavy heavyweights together at DC, with devastating effect.
My lord, Superman and the Justice League have agreed to come to our aid.
Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are backed up by the Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, and the Martian Manhunter.
I was just thinking, you, me...
I don't even know how to react to this other than frustration. This is just the... Like, I complained about the Jubilee video being lacking substance and needing more elaboration. This is fucking garbage. I guess that's what happens when you release a top 10 video every fucking day. Quality's gotta go down. Something's gotta give, and quality's gotta go out.
Wonder Woman, Superman. We are all of us orphans and exiles.
Maybe we should call ourselves the Just Us League.
But Marvel has team spirit spilling off of its pages and out into its movies.
How do we do this?
As a team.
The X-Men are drawn together by their mutantness.
Hey, it's me.
Prove it.
You're a dick.
The Avengers are drawn together by, amongst other things, Samuel L. Jackson.
You've been asleep, Cap, for almost 70 years.
And the Guardians of the Galaxy are so diverse that they have within their ranks a raccoon.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
Pulling themselves together as we head into the last round, Marvel makes it level. Winner, Marvel.
We'll say that all the time. It's not that unique of a thing to say.
Round 5, themes.
I've discovered his weakness.
Yes.
He cares.
Yes, WatchMojo, you've proven yourself so deep. You'll definitely be able to tackle themes really well, I'm sure.
He actually cares for these Earth people.
The comics and their movie adaptations hope to entertain first and foremost. But there are plenty of messages, motives, and themes within their writing.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
At DC, the word of the day, month, and year is justice.
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
It's everything the heroes want and everything the villains are trying to disrupt.
The only sensible way to live in this world is without rules.
A theme for the masses.
What were you trying to prove? That deep down, everyone's exactly as you.
I mean, all movies have some sort of theme if you break them down far enough. How well they deliver it is what varies. So, like, the only way to properly determine who does the themes best is to somehow break down each movie, break down their themes, break down how well they're delivered, and then put that side by side. And I'm sure WatchMojo, with just a minute and a half left in this video, is more than capable of doing that. I mean, God, that would be a huge job. I mean, even when I do it on my channel where I'm just talking about themes of 2 fucking movies, these guys are talking about 2 whole franchises. And just fucking bullshit.
At Marvel, justice is important, but it isn't always everything.
You Homo sapiens and your guns.
Spider-Man, Wolverine, and company deal with traditional issues of equality and fairness.
I'm looking for hope. I will bring you hope, old friend.
But they also look at those precise and modern issues that drive society today.
Big man in a suit of armor. Take that off. What are you?
Genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
There are different allusions to drug use, homosexuality, race, and sexism.
Before I worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., I made a name for myself.
Justice is key, but it isn't the only priority.
Your continuing search for hope.
In a yo-yo battle, Marvel is on top when it counts. Winner, Marvel.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's winner and still king of the cage, the Wolverine.
Verdict. By a score of 3-2, the winner is Marvel. A very close encounter of...
Well, I think you forgot the category of colors. Which movie has the best colors? And also the category of... fuck, I don't know. God, this is all arbitrary shit. I mean, my channel is kind of arbitrary with the categories, but I really try to come up with categories that, like, really help break down the movie into something meaningful. WatchMojo, god damn it.
The comic kind, DC doesn't quite have enough.
And even if you are the last, you're not alone.
Do you agree with our verdict?
We both know that I have to kill you now.
Or does DC do it for you?
Can't rely on anyone these days.
Be sure to debate in the comments and subscribe to WatchMojo.com for more entertaining versus battles.
It's why I'm here.
Nearly 4 million views on that one. Oh my God. What am I doing with my life?
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.